A scorching hot day here at OCC Stadium as the Onondaga Flames are getting ready for their second game of the season against their own Generals. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brandon Ross, joined in the booth by Morgan Chapman. And Jeremy Taylor has the start tonight for the Onondaga Flames. It's his second start of the season. His last time out against the Syracuse Spartans at Blink Fitness Field. He got 5 runs scored on him in 6 innings of work. 3 of them were earned. It was a nail-biting 8-7 loss in extra innings. Let's give you the starting lineup for the visiting Rome Generals. Batting first in left field is Matt Baker. Batting second, playing second, is Donnie Stokes. Batting third in center field is Steve Peters. Batting fourth, playing first base is Joe Bramante. Batting fifth at shortstop is Anthony Perino. Batting sixth, playing right field is Kenny Michael. Batting seventh, the designated hitter Jonel Ozuna. Batting eighth, playing third base is Thomas Diskin. And batting ninth is the catcher Woody Woodruff. Matt Baker, the righty, steps into the batter's box against the right-handed Jeremy Taylor as action is about to get underway here at OCC Stadium. Taylor steps foot on the mound. He gets ready, and we'll get started here at 5:03 Eastern Standard Time. The first pitch, a fastball, misses high, and the count's 1-0 to Matt Baker.
Got to get ahead in the count on a hot day like today and see if Jeremy Taylor can bounce back.
Taylor, the 1-0. Fastball catches the upper outside corner, and quickly an even 1-1 count here. And with a humid day like this, a hot day like this, pitchers don't have a lot of durability. They got to get the outs as fast as they can. The 1-1 fastball, again, just misses the outside corner. So 2 balls and a strike here on Jeremy Taylor to Matt Baker.
Matt Baker, if he gets on base, he is a major threat to steal. He's 12 for 13 on stolen bases this season.
2-1 is popped up to the right side. Drifting to foul territory to catch that is Mike Stefan. He'll try to make the catch close to the Generals' dugout, but he can't quite get a glove on it. And so it'll be even at 2-2. Stefan very close. Looks like he just lost it in the sun at the last second there.
And the sun is beaming down on the field this afternoon, Brandon, so it's okay for Mike Stefan to miss that one early.
So Stefan works back to first base. Baker set back in the box, the 2-2. Breaking pitch misses high, so a full count here to Matt Baker, the leadoff hitter for the Generals. Baker a threat to hit as well. .315 his batting average heading into today. The payoff is fouled right back to the netting behind home plate, so it'll stay 3-2, and this about to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat.
Definitely not what you wanted to see if you're Jeremy Taylor to start this ball game. Let's see if he can get a strikeout victim, though.
Taylor back on the mound, working from the windup. He deals the payoff pitch. Fastball is popped up to the right side over near the dugout, but it's going to go out of play. And so the count will stay at 3-2. Baker working the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
He's sealing Jeremy Taylor's stuff really well right now, Brandon.
Baker gets on base more than 40% of the time he steps up to the batter's box. And he's scored 14 runs this season. The 3-2 payoff is driven into left field right towards Cullen Matthews. He only takes a few steps back towards the wall, and he makes the catch for out number 1. And we'll give you the defensive alignment for the Onondaga Flames in the outfield from left to right. It's Cullen Matthews, Adam Gordon, and Mike Netzel. From right to left in the infield, it's Mike Stefan, Mike Ruggiero, Jake Evans, and A.J. DiFilippo. Trace Peterson is catching for Jeremy Taylor behind the plate. And Donnie Stokes, the number 2 hitter for the Rome Generals, coming up to bat right here with 1 away. First pitch to Stokes. Fastball catches the lower third, and Stokes behind in the count 0-1. Stokes out of Central Alabama Community College hitting .306 heading into today. The 0-1 pitch misses low and outside, so a 1-1 count here to Stokes.
Jeremy Taylor's not really pounding the strike zone here early, throwing a couple of balls and some long at-bats already.
Taylor winds the 1-1. Change-up is chopped on the ground, slow roller over to short. Evans Fields fires on the run and gets the out at first. So 2 quick outs here in the top of the first inning, but Jeremy Taylor's getting work throwing a lot of pitches, 11 so far this inning, and that'll bring up the 3 hitter Steve Peters, who is probably the most dangerous hitter in this entire ball club. .438 heading into today, .500 his on-base percentage. He's driven in 7 runs only, though, but he gets on base quite a bit out of that 3 spot in the order.
He's just very consistent at the plate. This is a guy that has to make the All-Star team with those stats.
All-Star lineups come out tomorrow. Expect a few Flames names on that list. The first pitch is blooped into right center for a base hit. Gordon will field that at first, and so a 2-out single here for Steve Peters, and a base runner on for the Generals with 2 away.
Steve Peters is also another threat to steal. He's 7 for 12 on stolen bases this season, has been thrown out 5 times.
The City College of New York product now stands on first base, and now Joe Primanti, the cleanup hitter, stepping into the box for the Generals. .325 his average out of the University of Maine Orono. The only player on the squad to play in every single game so far this season. Taylor now working out of the windup with a runner on first. He deals a fastball, catches the inside corner. So Taylor ahead in the count 0-1 here with 2 away.
Primanti is a huge guy, 6'4", 222.
Only 1 home run on the season. He has driven in 16 runs, though. Middle infield playing and anticipating a steal. Runner goes. That one's rolled over to third, fielded by DiFilippo. He shoots it over to first in time for the final out of the inning. So not 1-2-3 for the Flames to start out this ball game, but they get a quick first inning out of the way, heading into the bottom 1. Still no score here at OCC Stadium. Bottom of the first inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames about to step up to the plate for the first time. Let's give you the starting lineup. Batting first in right field is Mike Netzel. Batting second in center is Adam Gordon. Batting third, the designated hitter Ernie Geraci. Batting fourth in left is Colin Matthews. Batting fifth, playing third base, A.J. DiFilippo. Batting sixth behind the plate, Trace Peterson. Batting seventh, manning first base is Mike Stefan. Batting eighth at second base is Mike Ruggiero. And batting ninth, manning shortstop is Jake Evans. And on the mound for the Rome Generals, it is Greg Geiger. Geiger, so far, not much of a record to work off of this year. 4 games, only 1 start to date. His ERA is just a hair under 2.5, and Mike Netzel about to set up to lead off for the Onondaga Flames here.
And Brandon, how about the first base coach? It's Will Chapman today instead of Dave Dennis. This is an unusual situation. Let's see how he does out there at first base.
It'll be his first time making the first base coaching job so far this year, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Netzel stepping up to the batter's box. Geiger getting ready to start. Netzel heading into this game, not on a hot streak lately, but he's still a prolific bat this season so far. .317 is the batting average for the Occidental College product. And so Geiger gets set. The lefty winds up and deals the first pitch. A breaking ball misses low and inside. Count 1-0 to start the inning.
And Netzel has really worked the count a lot this season. 19 walks to be exact coming into this ball game.
1-0. That pitch finds down the middle. And so a 1-1 count here to Netzel. Greg Geiger is not an imposing figure. He's a lefty on the mound. He's 5'7". The 1-1. Cut on and missed way out in front. And it counts 1-2. Is that a knuckleball that I'm seeing?
I think so. That looked like a knuckleball.
Looks like that's what we're seeing here. We didn't know what Greg Geiger had in store, but now we know he is a knuckleball pitcher out of Lourdes University. And the 1-2 is chopped over the head of Donnie Stokes into right field for a base hit. So a quick base runner here for the Onondaga Flames with nobody out. That brings up Adam Gordon, the center fielder. And Adam Gordon, also another great hitter. He's had his struggles lately, but still fantastic at the plate. .329 for the Cal State LA product.
Talk about how the size of Geiger, when you say 5'7", he's also only 150 pounds soaking wet. This guy, he doesn't have a lot of, strength behind that arm, but he's making his pitches work here early.
Well, 150 pounds soaking wet. He'll be even more soaking wet today, so maybe that goes up to 155.
Sure.
Gordon steps into the left-handed batter's box. Netzel takes a lead off of first. Mike Netzel fakes a steal as the first pitch as a fastball misses high near the head of Adam Gordon. Gordon doesn't have to move out of the way, but the count's 1-0. Netzel a threat to steal on the base paths. So far, 5 for 8 on stolen base attempts this year. Third baseman playing in. Second pitch catches the inside corner of the strike zone, so it's evened up at a ball and a strike on Adam Gordon. And so it's Thomas Diskin playing at third base today for the Rome Generals. We'll give you the full defensive alignment after Adam Gordon is done. And it looks like Greg Geiger commits a balk very early to committing mental mistakes here, and now Mike Netzel advances to second base.
And we saw the snowball effect last night against the Cortland Crush as the Flames were a victim to that, and so was Cortland. Let's see if the Rome Generals will be a victim to the snowball effect on this hot afternoon.
So now a runner in scoring position with nobody away here for the Onondaga Flames. A 1-1 count on Adam Gordon. Geiger looks back, no one's covering the 1-1. Is a breaking ball, misses in the dirt, gets away from Woody Woodruff. He's able to protect it and keep Mike Netzel from advancing to third, but now a 2-1 count here on Adam Gordon.
Back-to-back wonders by Geiger on the mound.
So now 2-1 count here on Adam Gordon. Only one man on base. No one out here in the bottom of the first inning. Netzel fake steal. That one's ripped down the right field line. That looks like it could be near the wall. It is near the wall, but it's foul. That one about 10 feet to the right of the foul line down the right field line, and it's going to be a 2-2 count. Geiger trying to catch the Flames off guard with the breaking pitches, but doesn't seem to be working. A lot of solid contact early on. Anthony Perino guarding closely at second base. That pitch is fouled back towards the netting behind home plate. And so it stays at 2-2 with Adam Gordon coming up the sixth pitch of the at-bat. Still no score here in the bottom of the first inning. Flames have a runner on second base. A 2-2 count to Adam Gordon with nobody out. Shortstop guarding closely at second base. A curveball attempt doesn't break at all. Almost hits Adam Gordon in the head. So a full count here to the two-hitter Gordon. With a guy on second base only 180 feet away from scoring. A single could put the Flames up 1-0 early on in this one. Geiger looks back at second. Perino guarding closely near the bag. 3-2 misses outside. Ball 4. So Gordon reaches on a walk. And now 2 on with nobody out for Ernie Geraci, making his first start of the season for the Onondaga Flames. Canaan Very Lakes. We actually didn't even know he was coming in.
Yeah.
But he's made his presence felt so far. He's doing decently well in the field. He came in right field against the Rome Generals on Friday after they took a 12-0 lead. But at the plate, not a lot to show for so far. 0 for 4 in his 3 games, but getting trusted with being the designated hitter this time around. Nevertheless, out of the 3 spot. Geiger looks back at second. First pitch is a curveball attempt that doesn't break into the zone. Counts 1-0. Let's give you the defensive alignment for the Generals. Left to right in the outfield is Matt Baker, Steve Peters, and Kenny Michael. Right to left in the infield is Joe Bramante, Donnie Stokes, Anthony Perino, and Thomas Diskin. And Woody Woodruff behind the plate catching for Greg Geiger. Stokes is covering second very closely. And the 1-0 pitch is a ball that misses outside. So 2-0 here to Ernie Geraci to start this one out.
And Geiger does not look confident on the mound. He's had a lot of trouble pounding the strike zone early, throwing a lot of balls that aren't even hitting the strike zone at all.
And those that fall over the strike zone tend to be made contact with. Yeah. Bad pitches are getting fouled off. Good pitches are being ripped. And the 2-0 pitch again misses outside. So real hitters count here for Ernie Geraci. It's 3-0. Geraci, a right-handed hitter against the lefty Geiger on the mound. Donnie Stokes covering very closely at second as Netzel taking a relatively conservative lead out there. 3-0. Fastball finds the inside corner, so a strike here finally on Ernie Geraci. It's 3-1.
I know Geraci, if he sees one right over the plate like that again, he definitely wants to take a crack at it and get his first hit with this summer for the Flames.
Probably didn't have the green light there, though that seemed
Right.
to be a meatball right over the plate.
Right.
Geiger looks back. The 3-1 is fouled over on top of the Generals' dugout, so a full count here to Jirachi. It's 3-2. Jirachi was facing a 3-0 count, but Geiger on the mound able to work this one back full.
Now he just can't lose him, as he's already had the full count against Adam Gordon and ended up sacrificing a walk.
Colin Matthews waiting on deck. 2 on, nobody out. In the bottom of the first inning, no score here at OCC Stadium. The 3-2 is cut on and fouled back into the catcher's mitt. The throw down to first to try to get the diving Gordon is not in time, so a strikeout here on Ernie Jirachi, the first of the evening for Greg Geiger, and that brings up Cullen Matthews, the left fielder out of Kent State. He took a little bit of a tumble in the stats line in the last couple weeks, but he's getting back some ground, up to 289 on the season. So it's Mike Netzel leading off of second base and Adam Gordon leading off of first with one away. A double play opportunity available for the Generals. The first pitch just misses outside, and the count's 1-0.
And Colin Matthews last night, two RBI singles in the game against Cortland. He was crucial to the team's success last night.
Colin Matthews with those 2 RBIs up to 10 on the year. And so now Geiger working out of the stretch, looks back to second base. Stokes covering close. Netzel taking a growing lead out there. He deals the 1-0. That one misses outside, so 2 balls, no strikes here to Colin Matthews. 2 away, 1 out. 2 on, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Middle infield playing close to the bag, anticipating a double play opportunity. Corner infield playing back. 2-0. Fastball misses inside. Matthews has to jump out of the way, and it's 3-0.
I tell you what, Brandon, if I'm any Flames batter this afternoon, I'm gonna make him just throw strikes to me because he hasn't proven that he can hit the strike zone consistently.
Geiger struggling out there on the mound, not consistent with the strike zone. Anytime it's over the plate, tends to get rocked. Geiger looks back at second, deals, misses high, ball 4. So the bases are now loaded in the bottom of the first inning with only 1 away. That brings up A.J. DiFilippo, possibly the last guy on this team you'd want with the bases loaded. 19 runs batted in so far this year.
Yeah.
Heads into the game hitting .311.
And you know what, Brandon? Ever since Geiger balked, it seems like he's starting to unravel even more and more. He obviously surrendered the single to Mike Netzel, but then the balk to advance him to second. And from there, he's walked a couple of batters as well.
He has to fight the heat today, and that makes everything compound because all your emotions take greater hold of you when you're less in control. If you're not in control of the weather controls you.
Yeah.
A lot more things can get to your head. You have to deal with the heat. Your durability goes down in conditions like this. So bases loaded, 1 away for A.J. DiFilippo, the lefty against the lefty Geiger. First pitch catches the outside corner, and DiFilippo behind in the count 0-1. So it's Mike Netzel on third base, Adam Gordon on second, and Colin Matthews leading off of first. Geiger looks back at second. No one's covering. Middle infield still close to second base, anticipating a double play opportunity as the 1-0 misses high. 2-0 here to A.J. DiFilippo, 1-1. No shift in the outfield, even though the powerful DiFilippo is a lefty hitter. First baseman playing in. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back over towards the bleachers, so 1-2 count here to DiFilippo with 1 away. If you're Greg Geiger, you need to get out of this inning right now because racking up your pitch count this early with this much heat, it wears into your durability, and I wouldn't be surprised if neither starter gets to the 5 innings necessary for the win. Geiger from the stretch, 1-2. Just misses outside, and even 2-2 count now to DiFilippo. DiFilippo steps back into the box. Netzel leading off of third, Gordon off of second, and Colin Matthews off of first base. No shift in the outfield for the lefty DiFilippo. Still 2-2. Chopped foul down the third base line, so it's going to stay at 2-2. Facing the 6th pitch of the at-bat here is going to be A.J. DiFilippo.
And you talk about quality at-bats. Mike Cordero always preaches that to his players. DiFilippo has collected 9 walks in the season. He's only struck out 8 times. Obviously, you want to have more walks than strikeouts.
DeFilippo gets on base more than 40% of the time here. He's got a lot of extra base hits to his name, has 6 as a matter of fact, as that one misses outside. Now a full 3-2 count here with the bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning, only 1 away.
Geiger has to be careful. If he surrenders another walk, it's going to score a run for the Flames.
Geiger's going to have to throw a pitch that DeFilippo is going to be able to hit here if he wants to stay alive. And this one, 3-2, was outside, but it's chopped on the ground towards second. Perino fires to second, but it's not going to get there in time. So Netzel scores on the fielder's choice, and Gordon will come around to score, and Colin Matthews advances to third. So a fielder's choice and 2 runs on the board early for the Onondaga Flames. Talk about a messy stat sheet. Multiple batters move on and advance. That'll be an E6 as Perino at short tried to throw that to second, but it wound up in right field. Trace Peterson up to bat now. Runners on first and third, 1 away. The Flames now have a 2-0 lead. Geiger looking over at first. First pitch to Peterson, just catches the lower third. Peterson behind in the count, 0-1. Trace Peterson out of Lake Erie College, hitting .262 so far. Not a big power pat, doesn't drive in a lot of runs, has 7 RBIs to his name, but very consistent at the plate, as you could tell by that .262 average. That one's chopped on the ground slowly towards short. Perino fires to second for 1, on to first. Now a successful double play for the Rome Generals. That got them out of the first inning last time the Flames visited them in Rome, and that will retire the side here. 2-0, the Flames lead after 1. Top of the second inning here at OCC Stadium. The Flames have taken an early 2-0 lead, and it'll be Anthony Perino leading off the top of the second for the Generals. He made an error at short last inning that ended up bringing in 2 runs. That's his 3rd error in the 2 times these 2 teams have played. Perino played third base in the first meeting between these 2 ball clubs on Friday. He committed 2 errors in 2 innings at third base, ended up getting pulled in favor of Thomas Diskin. The first pitch to him is ripped into shallow left center field. Gordon drifts over to his left and makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out here for Jeremy Taylor on the mound, out for his 2nd inning of work, and Kenny Michael, the right fielder, coming up to bat for the Generals. Michael, a consistent player out there at right field for the Generals, hitting .295 entering today. Him, a UMass Dartmouth product. The first pitch to Michael is a fastball right over the middle for strike 1. It's it still continues to be very hot here. The 0-1 pitch is fouled over towards the trees. So an 0-2 count here on Michael, and it's still high 90s here in Syracuse, New York. You would think it's unbearable. We have to live through it to some extent. We're in a press box without air conditioning, but they're on turf where the temperature is amplified by about 20 degrees. The 0-2 fastball misses outside, so a ball here on Kenny Michael. It's 1-2.
Interesting note on Kenny Michael, Brandon. He leads the team in strikeouts. He's struck out 17 times on the season.
That's 4 more than the next guy, which is Sean Tyler with 13 strikeouts. He's not playing tonight, as that one's popped up to the right side into foul territory. Drifting under that one is Trace Peterson. He tries to leap for the catch, but he can't make it in front of the Generals' dugout. So it'll be still a 1-2 count here on Kenny Michael. Trace Peterson taking the long walk back over behind home plate. He's got to be dying in that catcher's gear in this heat.
It's got to feel good just to take the mask off for a couple of minutes. But, yeah, he must be absolutely dying in this heat.
It's 1 away here in the top of the second inning. Flames with a 2-0 lead. Nobody on. 1 away. A 1-2 count on Kenny Michael. On deck is Jonel Ozuna. Taylor from the windup, the 1-2. Is driven into right center field. Coming in from right is Mike Netzel, and he runs in to make the catch for out number 2. So 2 flyouts to start the top of the second inning. That'll bring up Jonel Ozuna, who there are no stats available for. We have no stats available for him on the season, but he out of Franklin Pierce University in New Hampshire, a native of New York City.
All I know about him is that Franklin Pierce is in the NE10. That's it.
What do you know about the NE10, Morgan?
Yeah, right? What would I know about it?
First pitch chopped on the ground towards short. Running in to field it is Evans, but he can't make the throw in time, so it'll be an infield single for Jonel Ozuna. Evans was playing deep and shaded towards the middle of the infield, and he had to run a long ways in to field that one, and by the time he got it, Jonel Ozuna was already only a step and a half away from first base, so he didn't even bother to make a throw. And now Thomas Diskin will be up with a runner on first and 2 away. Diskin came in the third inning in the last matchup between these two teams, replaced Perino at third, played out the rest of the game, and Diskin, a .237 hitter out of Bentley University in Massachusetts.
Another NE10 school.
First pitch, a fastball catches the outside corner for strike 1. You seem to know a lot about the NE10, Morgan, I wonder.
Yeah, just because of Lemoyne, and these schools are on the other side of the NE10, but Lemoyne does have some crossover games against Franklin Pierce and Bentley.
Taylor working from the stretch with a runner on first base. The 0-1 in the dirt, able to keep in front of him is Peterson, and a 1-1 count now to Thomas Diskin as Jonel Ozuna still on first base.
And it looks like Jeremy Taylor's starting to settle in on the mound, Brandon. He looks more comfortable than he did in that first inning.
He's looking more comfortable, getting quicker at-bats, and that's what you need. You need to be able to last in the starting pitcher's role, and in the heat like this, you got to get these outs done quick. So Jonel Ozuna, a short lead off of first. The 1-1 misses outside, so 2-1 rather, here to Thomas Diskin. Middle infield playing way back into the outfield grass. Ruggiero with his back heels in the outfield. Same with Jake Evans over at short. That one's driven high into the left side. Going under that one is the third baseman, A.J. DiFilippo, and he makes the easy catch for out number 3. So again, not 1-2-3, but easy innings for the Onondaga Flames heading into the bottom of the second. Flames have a 2-0 lead. Back in the bottom half of the second inning here at OCC Stadium, Flames up 2-0 early on in this one. It'll be Mike Stefan leading off the bottom of the second for the Flames. Stefan comes into this one recovering his batting average, was toiling around 110, 120 for quite a while this season. Now up close to the Mendoza line, hitting 196. And the first baseman, Stefan, sees the first pitch from Geiger, a fastball that misses low. The count's 1-0. Stefan, one of the many players on this club out of Canisius College, gets set to face the 1-0 pitch. He shows bunt, pulls back, but it's a strike anyway, so 1-1 count here on Stefan. And Geiger out there on the mound, continuing the need to work quickly here, showing it more so with his quick approach towards the plate. The 1-1 is fouled off the plate, and so it'll be 1-2 here to Mike Stefan. And by working quickly and just getting out of these innings quicker, Geiger is just trying to maintain his durability. Even though he may not just have the same oomph behind all those pitches, it'll still be productive. It's chopped foul off the catcher behind home plate. Actually, no. Looked like the ump gave a bad sign, and it's called fair in front of home plate. It's chopped back to the pitcher, who fires to first for the first out of the inning. So that was a little bit confusing. You agree by him showing safe. That sort of implies foul ball, but, I could be wrong. My glasses aren't on today, so excuse me. So with one away, that brings up Mike Ruggiero, who's playing second base today. Ruggiero still trying to recover his batting average after pulling his hamstring the first week of the season. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
And we know Mike's capable of getting hits. Brandon, that first game against the Saltcats, he had a couple of RBIs, but since then, just been a little bit inconsistent.
0-1, a 55-foot breaking ball. Doesn't even come close to reaching the plate, so 1-1 here on Mike Ruggiero. And Ruggiero in the batter's box, a 1-1 count, one away in the bottom of the second. Flames holding a 2-0 lead. 1-1 fastball misses just outside, so 2 balls and a strike here to Ruggiero. He continues to bear it down here, still 97 degrees in Onondaga. 2-1 is chopped back over the head of Greg Geiger. A sliding attempt at short by Perino is no good, so it'll get through for a base hit. Couple of close grabs there by the defensive players, but no glove was touched, so that's a clean single for Mike Ruggiero. And so a hit here with one away. That brings up Jake Evans, the 9-hitting shortstop. Evans, another player not getting too much playing time. He's making the most of it, even though he's not showing too much. 222 batting average. He has a couple of RBIs, though.
There's a reason why he's not getting that much playing time. His name's McLean O'Connor, who's come in and solidified himself as the team's shortstop this season.
O'Connor getting the day off today after starting yesterday's matchup. You should see that post-game interview. First pitch is a bunt down the third base line, fielded by Woodruff. Fires over to first, gets Evans in time, so there will be 2 away, and Ruggiero advances to second on the bunt.
Just a shameless plug there, Brandon.
Just a little bit of a shameless plug. I conducted that interview. They made me crack for the first time this season. I was very disappointed, but now batting for the Onondaga Flames is going to be Mike Netzel for his second time around. He singled in his first at-bat. And now Mike Ruggiero standing on second base in scoring position. A single could bring the lead up to 3 for the Onondaga Flames as Donnie Stokes covers second base very closely, trying to make sure that Mike Ruggiero doesn't try something. He has 2 stolen bases on the year, as the first pitch is a 58-foot fastball, and the count's 1-0. Geiger's just trying to power through this inning. He's just not being too successful. He's had his fair share of success. There's a lot of contact being made with the pitches that find the strike zone. But sometimes he gets the occasional guy to chase. A.J. DiFilippo reached at one last inning. It could have been a double play, but Anthony Perino made a throwing error when trying to turn 2. The 1-0 misses high and outside, so 2 balls, no strikes here to Mike Netzel in his second at-bat. Geiger looks back at second. Ruggiero with a big lead. 2-0. Pitch misses low again, so 3-0 here to Netzel. Geiger in danger of allowing his third walk in just the second inning of this contest. With 2 away, a runner on second. He looks back and deals the 3-0, finds the inside corner. So a strike here to avoid the 2-out walk. And so 3-1 here on Mike Netzel. Donnie Stokes covering closely. Ruggiero still with a big lead. Geiger looks back, 3-1. Skied high down the right side, but well into foul territory, so a full count here on Netzel. Netzel really fighting for his pitch this at-bat, as a lot of Flames players are doing at the plate tonight. Still 5:37 p.m. in the bottom of the second inning, a 2-0 Flames lead. The third possible run in scoring position at second. Geiger looks back and gets set from the stretch. The payoff is chopped on the ground towards third, but foul. It'll be fielded by Cordero over in the coach's box, and the count stays at 3-2.
Took him 2 attempts, but he brought the silky mitts even on a hot day.
Please stop. We won't stop mentioning the heat because it's just so hot here.
Yeah.
It's very humid, and it's making me feel like I just finished a football workout. So 3-2 here. Geiger looks back at second. No one covering. He deals the payoff, misses high and outside, ball 4, so Netzel walks with 2 away. Now runners on first and second with 2 outs, and that brings up Adam Gordon, who walked his first time up.
And Brandon, now this is where Geiger is going to be tested. This is where the snowball effect could come into play. Let's see if he can bounce back and get the final out of the inning.
As we know this season, the big inning, the detriment, and the savior for the Onondaga Flames. Had a couple big innings against Rome the last time out. Got a big first inning here with 2 runs. A chance to put on some more runs here early on, as there are 2 runners on base with 2 outs in the bottom of the second, a 2-0 lead. And number 22 at the bat. So 2's all around, essentially. First pitch, a fastball misses outside. A back pick attempt at first, and Mike Netzel is gunned trying to get back to first. Poor base running there by Mike Netzel, and he'll get gunned down trying to make it back in time. So no runs there for the Onondaga Flames on 1 hit at the end of 2 innings of play. Flames have a 2-0 lead here at OCC Stadium.
Welcome back to OCC Stadium here in the top of the third inning. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Brandon Ross to bring you the next 2 innings of work. Leading off for the Rome Generals is Woody Woodruff, the catcher, this evening. He plays his college ball at Moore Park College. See what he has in store for Jeremy Taylor, who comes out for his 3rd inning of work.
So Woody Woodruff to start, great name. The Rome Generals play at former Griffiths Air Force Base, and Woody Woodruff actually grew up on an Air Force base in Japan.
Interesting note about him. That first pitch for Woodruff outside for ball 1. Coming into this ball game, batting a .227 on this season. 5 runs scored, 3 RBIs. This pitch chopped right to Evans. Evans over to Stefan for out number 1. Easy 6-3 connection. Only a 2-pitch at-bat for Jeremy Taylor. And again, for him, he just has to get out of these at-bats as quickly as possible because the sun is beaming down and his workload is going to be cut short this evening for sure. Try to get through 5 to collect the win if possible.
And with the difference between Geiger and Taylor, Geiger's just trying to work fast. Taylor's trying to get quick outs.
Right. Matt Baker at the plate now. That's strike 1 on him. Jeremy Taylor hits the strike zone. Got the fly out to Colin Matthews leading things off in this ball game. Rome General still trying to get a base runner. Only had 1 so far. Squares the bunt. Gets past him, though, and just like that, it's an 0-2 count on Matt Baker. Jeremy Taylor has a couple of pitches to work with now. Baker coming into this ball game out of Wittenberg University, batting a .315, has scored 14 runs and driven in 12 of them. 0-2 count. Peterson sets up outside. Here's the 0-2 from Taylor. And it's outside. Baker's going to hold off. Count goes to 1-2. Taylor and Peterson working together with pitching coach Robert Anders in the dugout, getting the sign. The 1-2 delivery from Taylor. Chopped foul. Out of play. We'll do the 1-2 one more time.
You see Anders making the pitching calls from the dugout. This is not a level where a lot of coaches really trust their catchers to call games yet. Only the most proficient D1 talent really gets to call their own games in college. Trace Peterson, obviously a talented catcher, but not quite there yet.
The 1-2. Missing high, and the count evens up at 2-2 strikes. Baker had a long at-bat the last time he faced Jeremy Taylor as well. He worked into a full count. I believe it was 8 pitches was the final after Matt Baker, so working another long one here. This is pitch number 5 this at-bat. The 2-2. Missing outside, count goes to full, 3-2 strikes on the left fielder. The Arizona native. He's 5'10", 160. And again, this guy has struck out 12 times this season. See if he can get on base. This one popped up. A.J. DiFilippo chasing it down. It might go out of play, and it will, into the stands. So we'll do the 3-2 one more time. Matt Baker with another long at-bat here against Jeremy Taylor, and he's just trying to go right back to work. Taylor is on the mound as Peterson's catcher's mask comes off as he was trying to chase that one down.
See, there's a difference between being on the mound in a situation like this and working efficiently and working quick. Taylor's trying to work efficient, and this time around it's not working. It's a full count. Geiger's just trying to work fast for the Generals, and by that, he's just allowing himself to get behind in a lot of counts.
The 3-2 payoff from Taylor. Chopped foul back towards the screen on another long at-bat. Matt Baker is seeing this very well, seeing all of Jeremy Taylor's pitches, being able to stay alive. Let's see if he can get a hold of one. As at the plate coming into the game, he was 23 for 73. Now he's 23 for 74. See if he can get hit number 24 on the season. The 3-2 payoff. Get in there for a strike 3. The home plate umpire held for a second. So striking out looking is Matt Baker. Strikeout victim number 1 on the evening for Jeremy Taylor.
And that's the 13th strikeout of the season for Matt Baker. Certainly has a problem with getting rung up.
Sure does. This brings up Donnie Stokes. Mississippi native plays his college ball at Central Alabama Community College. First pitch for Stokes. In there for strike 1.
I get where you were going with Donnie Stokes. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Pascagoula. Not sure where that is in Mississippi since I'm not too familiar with the state as general. This one should be down for a base knock, and it is. Beautiful job there by Stokes to get on base. Now the Rome Generals have a 2-out single from Donnie Stokes. Steve Peters is going to come up to bat next. Peters is the big bat for this ball club, as Brandon alluded to earlier in the broadcast. Coming into this game, batting a .438, 28 for 64 coming into this ball game, and led off with the single. So let's see if he can move Stokes around the bases. Drive and run for this Rome Generals team. Peters only has 7 RBIs on the season, but he's very consistent at the plate. This one down the left field line, A.J. DiFilippo gives chase, but it's going to go foul. Count goes to 0-1.
And kind of what Donnie Stokes did in the last at-bat, it's got to be what Steve Peters has got to be thinking here. Work a deep count. Maybe he'll get a more favorable pitch to work with. That's something that the Generals have struggled to do so far through the first 2 innings. And in the 3rd inning, they're doing a little bit of a better job.
As this pitch missing inside for ball 1 against Steve Peters. I tell you, Peters, that single that he had, Brandon, it didn't even look like he got a hold of it. It was just a blooper that got between the gap.
It just barely got down, and, now 3 hits on the day for the Generals. Maybe a chance for more here.
Runner going. This throws way high over the head of Jake Evans, so Stokes is easily in there with a stolen base as Trace Peterson put a lot of that one, a lot of mustard behind that throw, just over the head of Jake Evans. And Jake Evans is an athletic guy, but he cannot jump that high.
Trace Peterson hasn't played the last few games at catcher. It's been Jake Zarrett, but as we were hearing from some sources within the team, Jake Zarrett felt deeply under the weather, was actually puking a little bit before today's ball game, so Trace Peterson filling in at catcher.
And he's doing a solid job other than that last blunder. 2-1 count here on Steve Peters. Runner on second base. This one chopped up. Let's see if Flames can get underneath it. Adam Gordon giving chase. He's going to call him off, and Adam Gordon collects the fly out for out number 3. So the Generals get another base runner, unable to bring him home, though. Scores the Onondaga Flames 2, the Rome Generals 0, heading into the bottom of the third inning. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Onondaga Community College. Here as the Onondaga Flames lead the Rome Generals 2-0. Heading into the bottom of the third inning, Adam Gordon is going to lead things off here for the Flames. Has done a pretty nice job so far in this ball game. The Flames have been pretty successful at the plate for the most part. Gordon reached on a walk last time he was up the plate, and then he scored on an error, and E6 drove him home. First pitch for Gordon, chopped down the right field line, foul. But Gordon coming into this ball game, one of the most successful batters on the team, coming in with a .329 batting average. Still, that average is still at .329 after collecting the walk. That's his 9th walk of the season. The 0-1. This one popped up. Should be easy pickings. Peters making his chase. Calls off the other players and picks it up for out number 1. The fly out to center field, bringing up Ernie Garachi.
Garachi still looking for his first hit of the season. Came in late, and so now 0 for 5 to start off the year, but a good chance here. He's got a fresh slate.
Sure is. See what he has in store. This pitch in there for strike 1 as Geiger goes right back to work. Geiger desperately needing some quick outs. Had the quick one with Adam Gordon. Now Garachi up to bat here. 0-1. See what Geiger has in store. Fastball missing the outside of the zone for ball 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. The 1-1 from Geiger. Cut on right back down the middle, and there it is. Garachi's first career hit with the Onondaga Flames. It's going to be a single in the bottom of the third inning. Congratulations to him getting his first hit of the season.
We knew it was going to be coming. He's a player at Farmingdale State. He hit .328 this past season in 36 games, all of them start. So we knew it was coming. It was just a matter of when.
So Garachi getting on base, bringing up Colin Matthews, who reached in a walk as well last time he was up. Colin Matthews had 2 RBI singles in last night's game against the Cortland Crush, coming into this ball game with a pretty decent batting average of .289. Garachi with a pretty decent lead off of the first base bag. Colin Matthews rips one out to left field. This should be down. Baker unable to make the play. Garachi rounding second. And Cordero's going to send him home. Here comes Garachi. Going home. The throw. He slides in and he's there. The throw for third. And Colin Matthews is there as he comes off the bag and he's tagged. As Colin Matthews slides just past the bag, he's unable to keep his hand on the third base bag, and that's going to be out number 2, but almost in there with a stolen base.
Well, he was almost able to advance on the throw home, but, I mean, stellar defense by the Generals mitigate the damage, but it's still a 3-0 Flames lead now.
3-0 Flames lead, and Colin Matthews with another RBI to bring in Jirachi. Beautiful play there. Bringing up A.J. DiFilippo. Reached on a fielder's choice last time. First pitch for DiFilippo in there for strike one. But, man, I think that's the second time we've seen Colin Matthews slide into third base, and his hand just comes off the bag, and he's tagged out just for a second.
He had to take a little bit of a stealth slide over there at third base. He had to go kind of around the bag, so any grab he would have gotten the bag would have been very weak, and he probably just came up for just a half second, and that was enough for the Generals' third baseman, Thomas Diskin, to lay down the tag.
And we know Colin Matthews wears that arm sleeve on his left arm when he's up the bat. It's got to feel nice to have that on today when you're sliding in the turf.
Oh, no kidding.
Second pitch in there for strike two on DiFilippo. DiFilippo isn't a major strikeout victim. He's usually pretty okay, only has 8 of them on the season. So he's usually working the quality at-bats, but quickly finds himself down 0-2. Geiger delivers the 0-2. Cut on and missed, and just like that, he picks up strikeout number 9. But the Flames add one more to their lead. The Onondaga Flames lead the Rome Generals 3-0 going into the top of the 4th inning. Welcome back to OCC Stadium as the Onondaga Flames lead the Rome Generals 3-0. Jeremy Taylor going to come back on the mound. He's going to take a second as he just needs a second of rest and trying to focus in here as he's already gone through 3 innings.
Heat really starting to get to everyone right now. 99 degrees here in Onondaga. Feels like 106 with the humidity on top.
Joe Bramante at the plate here for the Rome Generals. First pitch in there for strike one. Bramante was a ground-out victim last time he was at the plate. See if he can change his fortune here. Generals only have 2 hits in this ball game so far, and there's a half-hearted swing. Goes around. So there's strike 2. Bramante is a huge guy, by the way. I don't know if you can tell on the camera or not. 6'4", 220. Not a whole lot of power behind him, though. Has driven in 16 runs. This pitch way outside for ball 1. Count goes to 1-2. He has scored 16 runs as well, but he's also struck out 19 times on the season, so trying to get out of it. Jeremy Taylor has him right where he wants him, though, with a 1-2 count. Here's the 1-2 from Taylor. Bouncing in the turf for Trace Peterson. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bramante out of North Andover, Massachusetts. Just finished his freshman campaign. The 2-2. Just missing the outside corner. Count goes to full now, and he could collect a walk. He has 14 of them on the season so far, so a guy that has some quality at-bats and then obviously strikes out quite a bit as well. Peterson sets up inside. The 3-2 payoff from Taylor. This one chopped to foul, and we'll do the 3-2 one more time. Bramante just staying alive and doing his part for this team. Has one home run on the season, so he does have some power, but consistently he's hitting doubles. Has 9 of those. 3-2 payoff again, bouncing way outside, and you have to expect Jeremy Taylor with the sweat in his hands, just not having a good grip on that ball.
No one should. It's not, again, 99 degrees out, and get ready for this morning. You're going to be nice and cool in that Score 1260 studio tomorrow. We'll be filling in as the producer.
Yes,
but,
sir.
Eric and I, we're going to be outside for a doubleheader, and tomorrow's supposed to be even hotter than it is today.
Drink lots of water and hydrate, my friend. That's the only advice I have.
I have 3 water bottles right to my left. It's not enough.
Not enough. No, it's not. And if anyone has a pool they want to let us borrow, we're gladly to take a swim after the game. But either way, 3-0 is the score with a runner on first is Bramante, I should say. The Perino up the bat. This could be 2 over the Evans for 1, and then back to Stefan for 2. So a beautiful double play made by the infield.
I think going back to your point about it'd be nice to use a pool, but I think we've already sweated about a pool's worth of sweat already.
That's
today.
true. That is very true. So it's going to be a 4-6-3 double play by the Flames infield. Beautiful job by the boys in the infield doing their thing. Looking very sharp even on a hot afternoon where you could easily lose focus. Number 44 is up next. This is Kenny Michael, the right fielder. Flew out to right last time he was up. 2 away here. Jeremy Taylor delivers the first pitch, bouncing in the turf for ball 1.
Tell you what, their focus is certainly better than my focus right now up here.
Yeah, it is definitely hard to focus. The 1-0, missing low for ball 2. Count goes to 2-0 on Michael, who has 9 walks to his name. 18 for 61 coming into this ball game, batting a .295. Well, like I said, now he's 18 for 62 after the flyout in the last inning. 2-0 from Taylor. Right down the middle, cut on and missed for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 away. Flames trying to keep the shutout going through 4th innings. 2-1 from Taylor. Bouncing off the side of Trace Peterson's foot. And that's going to go to 3-1 here on Kenny Michael.
Taylor really looking to get this last down here. Wants to get out of the inning. He wants these quick innings because if he keeps pitching like this, he can go a lot longer than he's going right now.
And he can possibly get the win. The 3-1 popped up. See who has a read on it. Mike Ruggiero and Mike Stefan underneath it. Stefan calls him off and picks it up for out number 3. So Rome Generals still unable to score a run. Onondaga Flames lead the Rome Generals 3-0 going into the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back to the bottom of the 4th inning here at OCC Stadium. Trace Peterson's going to lead things off here. Geiger still on the mound for the Rome Generals. And Peterson grounded into the double play last time with A.J. DiFilippo on first base. So trying to get his first hit of the ball game is Trace Peterson, the catcher for the Flames. First pitch for Peterson. Cut on down the third base line, and the third baseman's unable to make a play on it. I'm not sure if it hit his glove. So it did hit his glove. It did not hit his glove, excuse me. So it's going to be a base knock for Trace Peterson to lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th.
Just to explain the confusion, usually the code for a lot of the away teams when they're trying to determine the score is if they give a thumbs up, it's a hit. If it's thumbs down, it's an error. I gave thumbs up, assuming Morgan would read that as a hit, but he had just queried about whether to hit the glove, so he thought it meant hit the glove, error. But so that is my apologies for that mistake.
It's okay. Mike Stefan off the bat next. Stefan doing his thing at first base. This pitch missing high for ball 1 for Mike Stefan. He's been in and out of the lineup. When Jake Surratt catches Trace Peterson or Corbin Paxton split time at first base, Mike Stefan does as well. His hot season has cooled off just a little bit, batting a 196 coming into this ball game. Pitch number 2 outside, so the count goes to 2-0 on Mike Stefan. Stefan, the Canisius product, has 9 hits on the season. He's 9 for 46, but has collected 12 walks to his name, and we talk about quality at-bats. He's having one already. 2-0 is the count. The 2-0. Cut on down the third base line. Third baseman's able to make a play on it. This could be 2 over the second for 1, and they're going to hold it, so Mike Stefan's going to reach on a fielder's choice.
Solid defensive effort there by Thomas Diskin after being unable to field that last one that went right at him. He was able to slide and get that backhand near the foul line and at least get the one out ahead.
Right. Mike Ruggiero coming up to the bat now. Ruggiero trying to keep his hot afternoon going as he had the single to lead things off for his day back in the second inning. And Ruggiero hasn't really been the same since the hamstring pull, as he was out of baseball for about 2 weeks. But then he's back with the team and healthy. Squares the bunt. This one's going to get away from him as Stefan's going to second base. I don't think he saw that went foul. And it's going to keep going foul. It wasn't a foul ball. Excuse me. It was a pass ball. So Stefan's going to slide into third, and he's safe. Beautiful piece of base running there by Mike Stefan. I thought Mike Ruggiero got a piece of it, but apparently he didn't.
Mike Stefan with a great base awareness there. You got to know what's happening at all times. He was clearly able to tell out of the corner of his eye that there was no contact there from Mike Ruggiero on the bunt attempt. Great job by being able to advance 2 bases on the pass ball.
And now the Flames have another runner in scoring position. Mike Ruggiero could potentially get an RBI here. He has 5 of them on the season so far, 2 of them coming back in the first game of the season. This next pitch missing way outside for ball 2. So 2-0 count here for Ruggiero.
Ruggiero was showing bunt there. It looks like they might be attempting a suicide squeeze.
Suicide squeeze could be on with 1 away. Ruggiero trying to lead one down, pick up an RBI, his 6th of the season. Let's see if he can do so. 2-0 from Geiger. This one popped up. This could be a sac fly RBI as it's out there. Kenny Michael's going to be able to make a play. Let's see what the relay is. Here comes Mike Stefan. And the throw isn't in time. Stefan's going to score on a sac fly RBI for Mike Ruggiero. The Flames go up 4-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
You know, getting out in front early, this is what the Flames have been doing in a lot of their wins. It's been why they've been so resilient as a ball club.
Jake Evans up the bat next, the shortstop this afternoon. Had a tiny piece of the last hit he had, went right in front of the catcher, Woodruff, and he was able to throw him out at first base. First pitch outside for ball 1. Jake Evans out of Bampton University, the Division I product. He's been in and out of the lineup as well, thanks to McLean O'Connor. Squares the bunt, see if he can beat it out. He does have the speed. Beautiful bunt, and he's going to beat it out. So the bunt single with 2 away gives the Flames another base runner.
That's a model bunt right there, right down the line. It's a pure field, so it's not going to take a weird hop. Just perfect, nice, soft roller right down the line, just in a position where Woody Woodruff can't get there quite quickly behind the plate. An effort has to be made by Geiger on the mound, and at third base, Diskin can't quite get there, so not even a throw attempt as Jake Evans with the bunt single.
Beautiful play by Jake Evans, and now Mike Netzel up to the bat now for the Flames. He's 1 for 1 on the afternoon so far. First pitch for Netzel in there for strike 1. But Netzel in position here to keep it going here. See if the Flames can add some more runs to their total. They have 4 so far. Netzel takes a second to readjust and comes back into the batter's box. Geiger checking on Jake Evans at first. Going to throw it over. Not a full-hearted attempt, though, as he just kind of lobs it. Jake Evans able to get back safely. Evans has a lot of speed behind him, but yet to attempt a stolen base, according to our statistics. So could be a time for one here. Decent lead. This pitch missing for ball 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Netzel getting some instructions from head coach Mike Cordero in the third base coaching's box. Jake Evans takes about a two-step lead off of the first base bag. As Geiger checks him off with a 1-1. This one fouled off the end of Mike Netzel's bat and quickly down in a 1-2 count here for Mike Netzel.
Mike Netzel's fighting really hard here for the Onondaga Flames at the plate.
Netzel is third on the team in strikeouts. He has 15 of them coming into this ball game, trying to avoid number 16 here. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 away. Runner on first is Jake Evans. The 1-2 bouncing in the turf. Jake Evans is going to stay put at first base. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Geiger just trying to get out of the inning after surrendering another run here to the Flames.
More and more quality at-bats for the Flames. They're just doing a really good job at prolonging these at-bats.
2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Runner on first is Jake Evans. Mike Netzel trying to get a piece of this one to keep the inning going. The 2-2 from Geiger. Popped up. This should end the inning. Peters gives chase. Underneath it, ranging back and collects it for out number 3. But the damage is done one more time. The Flames add 1 more run thanks to the sac fly RBI from Mike Ruggiero. We're going into the top of the 5th inning. The Flames lead the Jerome Generals 4-0.
Top of the 5th inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames out to a 4-0 lead after Mike Ruggiero brought in another run on a sacrifice fly. The first pitch here to Jonel Ozuna is popped up, reaches the shallow outfield. Drifting into that one is Colin Matthews, the left fielder. He makes the catch for out number 1. And so one defensive change here in this half inning. Jack Cherno, after Mike Ruggiero made that sacrifice fly, he's now out of the game, and in his place at second base is Jack Cherno. And so now 1 away here for Thomas Diskin, the third baseman. Last time up, popped out to third. First pitch from Jerry Taylor is a strike right down the middle, 0-1. Taylor is out there for his 5th inning of work. I am losing count here. 0-1 is driven on a line on the ground out to the left field. It'll be a base hit. Evans made a diving attempt at short, couldn't quite get a glove on it, so a 1-out single here for the Rome Generals as that brings up the catcher Woody Woodruff, who in his first at-bat grounded out to short. There are not that many international players in this league, but there are actually a few on this team. Woody Woodruff's American, but he grew up on an Air Force base in Yokota, Japan. There's another Japanese pitcher on this team in Kotaro Kajita. First pitch to Woody Woodruff misses for ball 1. And so there's Kotaro Kajita, he's out of Tokyo. And then there's Julian Pedruzzo, who's actually out of Argentina. You don't see that many international players at all in this league, let alone 3-on-1 team. The 1-0 pitch is cut on miss for strike one. You think that we were a geographically diverse team with all the players from California,
Right.
but they're taking players from other country, from other continents, as a matter of fact. So now a 1-1 count here to Woody Woodruff against Jeremy Taylor. One away here in the top of the fifth inning, 4-0. The Flames still lead. On first base, taking a lead is Thomas Diskin. He goes. The pitch is cut on foul behind home plate, and so it'll be a 1-2 count here to Woody Woodruff. Diskin had a good jump there, but the foul ball forces him to retreat back to first. No other changes aside from Cherno this inning. Everyone else back out to their regular positions. If Taylor can complete this inning, he's in line for the win. Taylor makes a pickoff attempt over to first. Diskin able to get back in there safely. No tag made by Mike Stefan over at first base.
Very quick pickoff attempt there by Jeremy Taylor.
The heat certainly doesn't seem to be getting to him too much. He's playing very precise out there, very active. And another pickoff attempt is not in time. Again, no tag attempt on Diskin at first base. It's most likely just a courtesy check, make sure he's not trying anything again. After all, this is coming right after he tried to steal, but the foul ball forced him to retreat. So Taylor working from the stretch, 1-2 count here on Woody Woodruff. He deals. Fastball cut on and missed. He got caught out in front of that pitch. And there are two away here in the top of the fifth, and then I'll bring up the top of the order in Matt Baker. And for Jeremy Taylor, that's only his second strikeout of the night, and Matt Baker is the only other strikeout victim of the night. He struck out looking his last time up, and before that, he flew out to left field. Taylor trying to get out of this one quicker with two away here. DiFilippo playing in at third base. First pitch is a fastball, catches the upper third for strike one. Outfield playing deep here for Baker. Known to be a consistent contact hitter at .315 entering today. 5 extra base hits to his name so far, all of them doubles. 0-1, a dirt ball outside. That one couldn't have gone more than 58 feet, so it's a 1-1 count. Taylor having to deal with a runner on first base, he really has to just keep his composure, and in this heat that's going ever more difficult, but he's doing a fantastic job keeping his composure. Only allowed 4 hits, no base runners have scored so far. For the Rome Generals, a pickoff attempt is no good over at first base. That's the third time that Taylor has tried to pick off Diskin at first, probably just a courtesy to make sure he's not trying anything.
I saw Jeremy Taylor before the game, and man, he looked dialed in, sitting in the dugout with headphones in, trying to lock himself in for this game.
That's a trend we see with a lot of starting pitchers. They just tend to leave the starter alone. They lock themselves in as that pitch is cut on and missed. And that'll be a 1-2 count here with 2 away to Matt Baker. A chance for Jeremy Taylor's third strikeout here. So Diskin takes his lead off of first base, not very far. Taylor looks behind him to check on him. The 1-2 fastball misses high. And so it'll be an even 2-2 count here to Matt Baker. Baker, like a lot of Generals batters lately, working these counts pretty well. Early on, they were getting a lot of quick outs at bats that lasted no more than like 3 or 4 pitches. But now very productive. The 5th pitch of the at-bat here is popped up into shallow right field. Drifting under that one, taking a few steps back is Cherno, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no one left on base for the Generals. Heading into the bottom of the 5th inning, Flames still lead 4-0. Bottom of the fifth inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames still have a 4-0 lead over the Rome Generals. And leading off the two-hitter here, Adam Gordon for the Onondaga Flames. Gordon so far 0 for 1, a fly out to center in his last at-bat, and he'll pop one up to the left side here. Taking a few steps in from third is Thomas Diskin, and he'll make the catch. And one pitch, one out early on for Greg Geiger, who is still on the mound for his fifth inning of work. And so it'll be Ernie Geraci here for his third plate appearance. Struck out his first time swinging, and then got a single in the third, coming around to score as a result of the Colin Matthews double. First pitch to Geraci, a fastball misses high and outside, count 1-0. That single back in the third, the first hit of the season for Geraci, who just arrived earlier this week. That one, a chopper over to shortstop, fielded by Perino. He fires over to first in time for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here for Greg Geiger on 3 pitches, and that'll bring up Colin Matthews with 2 away. Matthews 1 for 1 today, a double, but he got gunned down trying to go for 3, and then a walk back in inning number 1. Geiger steps off for a quick minute. The lefty's in his 5th inning of work. So far, he's allowed 4 runs. Only 3 of them earned, though, and 5 hits he has given up so far. First pitch to Matthews is dripped into shallow left field. That'll drop for a base hit. So a 2-out single here for Colin Matthews. He's still perfect on the day in terms of getting on base safely, and he's also halfway to the cycle as that brings up A.J. DiFilippo. DiFilippo made it on base in the first as a result of a fielder's choice. Picked up an RBI as a run came around to score. 2 runs actually scored on that fielder's choice, but only one of them was credited with an RBI as the second one reached as a result of an error. First pitch to him is cut on and missed. A breaking ball caught him out in front, and the count's 0-1. Other than that fielder's choice, he struck out swinging back in the 3rd inning. And now a chance with a runner on first here and 2 away, up 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Geiger looking over to first, he deals. Curveball just catches the inside corner. A nice 1-7 split cut there. It wasn't quite perfect 12-6, but it had a very nice cut to it from the left side, and the count's 0-2. Geiger looks over, runner goes. That one's ripped right back up the middle, and it's a diving catch in center field by Steve Peters to retire the side. Incredible leap out there by center field to prevent what could have been an extra base hit. A very gutsy call out there, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base at the end of 5 innings of play. The Flames lead 4-0. Back for the top of the 6th inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames still up 4-0 after 5 innings of play. And Jeremy Taylor about to head onto the mound for his 6th inning of work. And so far, he's been very efficient, only 65 pitches through his first 5 innings, and Donnie Stokes will lead it off for the Rome Generals. And Taylor's first pitch from the windup is a fastball chopped on the ground just left of the third base bag, so foul on the first pitch. It's 0-1. Stokes so far today, 1 for 2. He grounded out to short back in the first inning, and in the third inning, he reached on a single. He ended up getting stranded, though, as Steve Peters flew out to center right behind him. 0-1 to Stokes. Caught on and missed. He looked like he wanted to hold up there, but he was too far past where he could hold back, and so it's 0-2 here to Stokes. Taylor again working quickly here now, but he is taking a little more time on this pitch, working out of the windup with no one on and no one out. The 0-2, cut on and missed. So a quick strikeout here for Jeremy Taylor, his 3rd strikeout victim of the night. And that'll be 1 away here for the Rome Generals, and that brings up the center fielder, Steve Peters. And his last time up, as I mentioned just a moment ago, he flew out to center, but he also singled back in the first inning, and he was stranded by Joe Bramante, who would ground out to third. And so after the strikeout, the first pitch here to Steve Peters is a fastball that just misses outside. And quickly ahead of the count is the batter, Steve Peters. It's 1-0. Peters, the lefty, against the right-handed Taylor on the mound. 1-0. That one just catches the outside corner. And so the count 1-1 here on Peters. Peters is quite the dangerous bat for the Generals, obviously hitting over 400 heading into today. So far, not too much production from him. A bunt attempt misses and goes foul down the third baseline. So 1-2 count here to Peters, so he won't be trying the bunt again anytime soon. So far, 5 1/3 for Jeremy Taylor. This will be his 71st pitch of the evening. Taylor winds up the 1-2. Is driven down the left field line, but will foul over into the Flames bullpen. So the count stays at 1-2 here on Steve Peters. And Taylor's laboring through the scorching heat here at OCC. Still very close to 100 degrees, 99 as a matter of fact, 105 if you account for the humidity. And if you account for the fact they're playing on turf, it gets even higher. Another foul ball at the plate for Steve Peters. So now it stays 1-2 yet again. A very lengthy at-bat here. Peters working very well against Jeremy Taylor. And for the left-handed hitter Peters, there is a slight shift in the infield. Jake Evans playing closer to the second base bag, and Jack Cherno at second base shading a little closer to the right side into the shallow outfield. 1-2. Fastball misses inside. Trace Pearson lets it get away from him since there's no one on base. It's 2-2. Joe Bramante waits on deck behind Steve Peters. 1 away here in the in the top of the 6th. Still 4-0 lead for the Onondaga Flames. Taylor gets ready. The 2-2. Fastball misses high and outside, so a full count here on Steve Peters. Taylor gets ready now from the windup. The payoff pitch. Fastball gets ripped back up the middle. A stop by Jack Cherno reaches behind him. Throw over to first is in time. Cherno overran that ground ball, was able to reach behind him with his glove side, threw it over to first just to barely get Steve Peters. So 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Joe Bramante. Joe Bramante so far 0 for 1. He grounded out to third back in the first inning and then reached on a walk back in the 4th. However, he got gunned down on a 4-6-3 double play attempt by Anthony Perino. So a lot of guys getting left stranded or hung out to dry. That one on the first pitch, driven out to deep center field. Gordon's going to watch that one sail over his head and take a hop over the wall. So a ground rule double here for Joe Bramante and a base runner in scoring position for the Generals with 2 away. It's the first ground rule double we've seen at this ballpark all season. We've seen a few home runs, not that many, only 3. That matches the entire total from last season. It's very deep out there in center field, over 400 feet if you account for the depth out there in the gap. And so 2 away here, runner on second, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Anthony Perino, who's 0 for 2, a fly out to center and a 4-6-3 double play to his name so far, but he's got a runner in scoring position and a chance to get the Generals on the board for the first time here. Taylor so far hasn't had to deal with any runners in scoring position. This is the first time that the Generals have gotten someone within 180 feet of scoring so far today. First pitch, a breaking ball, misses low, and the count's going to be 1-0. The humidity finally starting to die down here at OCC Stadium. And so it's 99 degrees still, but it's definitely feeling a lot cooler out in OCC. Bramante takes a big lead off of second base with 2 away. Taylor looking back, no one covering. Cherno takes a few steps in, pounds the glove, but Taylor deals the 1-0. That one a fastball right down the heart of the plate. Perino takes that one, and it's a 1-1 count. If Perino drives in the run, it'll be his 4th RBI of the season. The Daytona State Junior College product looking to start getting some production going, hitting close to 300, but not doing much, having not played a lot of action so far. 1-1 fastball just misses high, so 2 balls and a strike here to Perino. Perino hasn't had the best last couple of games. 3 defensive errors in the last 2 games against this Flames ball club. Also hasn't been very productive at the plate. He's 0 for 2 so far today, but a chance to turn that all around. Here, a 2-1 pitch from Jerry Taylor. Fastball shot foul off the plate and off his bat into foul territory. A very unusual foul ball, but that brings the count up to an even 2 balls and 2 strikes. And just as a testament to how hot it is outside, one of the players just brought the first base coach for the Rome Generals a jug of water. He just took a giant swig and then just tossed it back to the dugout. That's the kind of hot day we're witnessing here, folks. It's just totally humid. It's very sweaty. I feel like I've been through a football workout. I can't imagine how the players feel out there on the field. The 2-2 fastball from Taylor misses in the dirt. Peterson able to keep it in front of him. So a full count here with 2 away. Runner on second base, no one behind him, so I wouldn't anticipate the steal. Perino back into the box, the righty against the right-handed Taylor. Bramante takes his steps off of second base, and Taylor is starting to work out of the stretch. 3-2, 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. 4-0 the Flames lead. Taylor looks back. The payoff is ripped on the ground towards second. Cherno fields it on the easy hop, fires over to first for the final out of the inning. The Generals finally get a runner in scoring position, but unable to capitalize as the Flames still lead 4-0 heading into the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames still leading 4-0 over the Rome Generals. And Greg Geiger back on the mound for his 6th inning of work so far. 3 runs allowed and 4 runs scored on 6 hits. And Trace Peterson will leave things off for the Flames this inning as the first pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. Peterson so far a single back in the 4th. And also grounded into a double play back in the 1st. Geiger deals the 0-1. That one skied into right field and deep. Taking a few steps back is Kenny Michael. He turns and he makes the catch with the backhand. and it'll be 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th for Mike Stefan. Mike Stefan scored in the 4th inning after reaching on a fielder's choice. And then back in the 2nd inning, he grounded right back to Geiger on the mound. And so Stefan looking for his first hit of the night. Some time here in the Mariners. Looks like they're identifying a defensive replacement, but he's all the way out in left field. I don't have binoculars, and they don't have numbers on the front, so I can't possibly figure out who's out there in left field. Geiger gets set. First pitch to Stefan is a dirt ball, and the count's 1-0. Stefan heading in today just a hair under 200. So far 0 for 2 today. Looking to get above that here. The 1-0 is a breaking pitch that just misses high. So 2 balls and no strikes to Stefan. A real hitter's count here. Stefan, a right-handed hitter and 1 away, but however, Thomas Diskin playing very close in, about even with the bag at third. 2-0 fastball misses way outside, and a 3-0 count here to Mike Stefan. I wouldn't think he would get the green light here, given the fact that they have a 4-run lead. Geiger working quickly on the mound, the 3-0. That one just catches the lower third of the plate, so strike one here on Mike Stefan. It's a 3-1 count. Stefan, another flame working along at bat. The 3-1 pitch just misses outside, so Stefan walks with 1 away. And a 1-out base runner for the Flames as that brings up Jack Cherno for his first at-bat. He came in for the field for Mike Ruggiero a couple innings back when Ruggiero had just sacrificed fly in the 4th run of this ballgame. Cherno coming in with a clean slate for today, 276 on the year. He started off smoking hot. The plate has cooled down as of late. He's had the last few games out of the starting lineup. He did start yesterday, but recently has just been more coming in as a substitute. First pitch misses in the dirt, so 1-0 count here early on to Cherno with 1 away, runner on first, and the Flames nursing a 4-0 lead. Heat starting to pick back up here again at OCC Stadium. Still 99 degrees. It keeps feeling hotter. Feels like we're getting sweatier and sweatier. That one's ripped into right field. That drops for a base hit. Stefan rounds second. He's going for third, and he'll get in there standing. So a single for Jack Cherno, and that advances Stefan to third with 1 away. So now 2 on with 1 away. Runners on first and third to be specific, and that brings up Jake Evans, who's so far 1 for 2 on the day, grounded out to the catcher in front of home plate, and a successful bunt single back in the 4th. He has a chance to drive in another run for the Flames. It would be his 3rd RBI of the year with the runner 90 feet away from scoring the 5th run for the Flames. And that one's grounded between third and short. That's going to get backhanded at short by Perino. There isn't going to be a throw. That'll be an infield single and an RBI for Jake Evans. So 2nd hit of the ball game and the 3rd RBI of the year for Evans as the Flames now take a 5-0 lead. So Evans bringing around the 5th run for the Flames. That brings up the top of the order and Mike Netzel with 2 runners on, 1 away. First and second, the Flames have runners on base. Netzel so far 1 for 2. Geiger looks back. Netzel shows bunt, pulls back. That one misses outside. Counts 1-0. Netzel singled back in the first, coming around to score after a balk and reaching on a fielder's choice to score. Walked back in the second, flew out to center back in the 4th. The 1-0 from Geiger. Fastball misses outside yet again, so 2 balls and no strikes here on Mike Netzel. Geiger getting to a little bit of a hole here. Now has allowed 8 hits and 4 earned runs, with 5 total runs coming to score for the Flames. And so far, looks like someone is in the Generals bullpen, but no one actively warming up. 2-0 to Netzel, misses outside, so the count 3-0. It doesn't look like there's any threat. It looks like someone's finally getting up there in the Rome Generals bullpen. I'll let you know once we know who's warming up there. 3-0 from Geiger. That one misses low, ball 4. So Geiger now has the bases loaded behind him with only 1 out, and that brings up Adam Gordon. Gordon's not having the best of days so far, 0 for 2, but he did reach on a walk back in the first. But now he has a golden opportunity with the bases loaded. But looks like head coach Cole Morozic is going to come out to the mound, and he's going to call to the bullpen. So we'll let you know what happens with the pitching replacement when we come back here on Team Line. So the first pitching replacement of this ball game here comes for the Rome Generals as Greg Geiger takes a seat in favor of Kevin Simon, number 30, out of Lorain County Community College in Ohio. And he comes in with the bases loaded behind him with only 1 away, and Adam Gordon up to bat for the Flames. And if you're the Flames, you're looking forward to Kevin Simon on the mound. He was the starter in the game on Friday where the Flames won 15-2. 7 runs scored on Simon's watch in that Friday matchup. The first pitch to Adam Gordon is a fastball missing high and outside, and the count's going to be 1-0 early to Adam Gordon. Gordon so far 0 for 2. A fly out to center and a pop out to third. He walked back in the first inning. 1-0 from Simon. Ripped on the ground to the right side. That gets through for a base hit. 1 run scores. Giving chase from third is Evans, and he'll score. And then advancing to third base is going to be Mike Netzel. It's 2 runs on the single by Adam Gordon, and it's a 7-0 game. The Flames taking advantage of Kevin Simon again here in this Sunday evening matchup. Gordon finally gets his first hit of the ball game and picks up 2 RBIs to boot. So 7-0 here. The Flames now lead. Ernie Geraci will now come up to the batter's box. His last time up, he grounded out to short, but he also singled back in the third, eventually coming around to score. So a grand total of 1 for 3 on the day for Geraci. He also struck out swinging back in the first. The first fastball from Kevin Simon misses inside. So a 1-0 count here to Geraci with runners on first and third and 1 away. Flames now leading 7-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Simon operating out of the stretch with runners on first and third. Fastball chopped on the ground, foul down the first baseline. So the count's evened up at a ball and a strike here on Geraci. Geraci finally starting to make an impact after coming out the gate slow after finally arriving. There was no advance notice of it coming. He is a player out of Farmingdale State University. He transferred from the College of St. Rose after his freshman season. While at Farmingdale State, he hit .328, 8 doubles and 2 triples as the 1-1 fastball catches the strike zone. So a 1-2 count here on Geraci. Cordero gives signs. There's runners on first and third, so there's a good bit of base running trickery to be had should the Flames choose to initiate some sort of base running strategy. 1-2 fastball is ripped into right center field. That gets deep, could score a run. Making the catch in right is Kenny Michael. Tagging up from third is Netzel, and there won't even be a throw home. The throw goes right back to the pitcher, and that'll be an RBI sacrifice fly for Ernie Geraci. That's the first run batted in for Geraci on the season, and now an 8-0 Flames lead here in Onondaga. So now only 1 runner on with 2 away. Flames now leading 8-0, and that brings up Colin Matthews. First pitch fastball to Matthews catches the lower third, and it's a 0-1 count. Matthews halfway to the cycle so far, a single in the 5th and a double in the 3rd. He was trying to go for a 3, but that got gunned down trying to advance. 0-1 from Simon, fastball misses high, and the count's 1-1. So far, 3 runs more have come around. That finishes the stat line for Greg Geiger with 8 runs scored on his watch, 7 of them earned. The pitch misses inside, runner goes. The throw is not in time, and so reaching safely on the stolen base is Adam Gordon. He moves up to second, and now a runner in scoring position with 2 away for the Flames. For Adam Gordon, that's his 5th stolen base of the year. And now he's 180 feet away from scoring with Colin Matthews riding a hot bat in the batter's box. 2-1. Fastball misses just high, and the count's 3 balls and a strike. Matthews looking to capitalize and maximize this lead here, up 8-0, a chance to make it a 9-run game. 3-1. Misses inside, ball 4. So the second time Colin Matthews has reached on a walk today, he's still reached base every time he's stepped up to the batter's box so far, and that brings up A.J. DiFilippo with 2 on and 2 away. DiFilippo now the 9th batter of this inning. He's so far hitless in today's contest. A fielder's choice allowed him to reach back in the first inning, but otherwise a swinging strikeout and a fly out to center. First pitch to him misses inside, and the count's 1-0. DiFilippo, another player who came in late, started scorching hot in the batter's box, eventually came a little bit down to earth, but he's still hitting very well. 3-11 entering today's game. The 1-0 is chopped on the ground towards first, but foul. Will get fielded in the first base coach's box by Flames coach Will Chapman, and the count's 1-1. Normally, it's Coach Dave Dennis manning the first base coaching box, but it appears he may not be here, and so it's Will Chapman manning the first base coaching box, and Robert Anders, as always, managing as the bench coach and the pitching coach. 1-1. That one just misses low. Pitch was over the plate, but just wasn't between the knees or the letters, and the count's 2-1. And so Gordon leads off of second, and Colin Matthews leads off of first. 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Flames up 8-0. And that one's chopped on the ground, fouled down the first base line yet again. So now an even 2-2 count on A.J. DiFilippo. Particularly with Kevin Simon, the Flames have no trouble making contact with the balls he throws over the strike zone. And on his watch, 3 more runs have scored in this inning. Both runners go, and that one's chopped on the ground just fair down the first base line. No! At the last second, the home plate umpire says it went foul, and so the count stays at 2-2. Both runners were going, even though there weren't 3 balls in the count. So now both runners retreat back, and it'll be Matthews on first, Gordon on second. 2 away, 2-2 count. Flames up 8-0. So far, all the runners scored this inning are charged to Greg Geiger. 2-2 is cut on and missed. A.J. DiFilippo caught on in front as Simon pulled the string on him, and that retires the side finally, but the Flames able to put a lot more runs on the board, have an 8-0 lead entering the 7th.
All right. Welcome back to OCC Stadium here. The Onondaga Flames with another offensive explosion. Bottom of the 6th inning, putting up 4 runs. Leads now 8-0. Jeremy Taylor comes back out on the mound for his 7th inning of work. Leading off for the Rome Generals is Kenny Michael, the right fielder, who's 0 for 2 on the afternoon so far. Jeremy Taylor winds up for the first pitch of this at-bat, and it's outside for ball 1. Jeremy Taylor has had relatively quick innings so far in this ball game. Second pitch chopped down the third base line, over to DiFilippo, over to Stefan for first, and there's out number 1.
And that's been the key for Jeremy Taylor so far, just getting those quick outs, getting the Flames quickly into a position where they're ahead in the half inning and have the Generals working from behind.
Jonel Ozona, the designated hitter, up the bat next. He's 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Had a single back in the second. First pitch is going to be another single. At least base knock as Adam Gordon scoops it up. So a good first pitch swing there from Ozona, and just like that, Rome Generals have a base runner trying to score their first run of the ball game.
Great job by Ozona. He likes capitalizing on that first pitch because in his last at-bat where he flew out to left field, it was also a first pitch swing. So he likes to get out in front early and be aggressive, and that's something that a lot of hitters in this league are afraid to do.
Yeah. Tom Diskin up the bat next for the Rome Generals. 1 away with runner on first. Pitch from Taylor. Missing low for ball 1. Diskin 1 for 2 on the night. Plays his college ball at Bentley University. Let's see what he has in store for the Rome Generals. They're still trying to get a runner in scoring position and drive him home. The 1-0. Runner going. This one popped up. See if Trace Peterson can get underneath it. Slides. Unable to make the play, though, and the count will go to 1-1 on Diskin as the runner Ozona was going. But he's back at first base now after the foul ball. Peterson taking his time to readjust some of his catcher's gear. And Peterson's been working his tail off behind the plate all afternoon. Doing a nice job there. There's some sportsmanship as Diskin gives his catcher's mask back to him. As we wait for Peterson to get set. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 away. Runner on first. Taylor gets the sign from Peterson, delivers the 1-1. Curveball in there for strike 2, and the count goes to 1-2.
Taylor working well on the mound here in the circumstances. His 7th inning of work, we didn't think he'd go that far, but he's been very efficient out there getting the job done.
Jake Griffin warming up in the bullpen one more time. We'll see when we see Jake. The 1-2 cut on and miss. This one, the play's at second base. He's in there. Ozona with the easy steal. So as Diskin did not go around on that last swing, so we'll do the 2-2 is the count now for Diskin. Stolen base by Ozona.
Pitch missed just outside, and it was deemed to be a check swing.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 away. Runner on second now. Jeremy Taylor and Peterson working together here to try to collect another strikeout on the afternoon. The 2-2. Cut on right back to Jeremy Taylor. Should be easy play at first, and it is. He just lobs it over to Mike Stefan, and there's out number 2. Woody Woodruff is coming up to bat next for the Rome Generals. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon as well. Another pretty big guy. He's 6'3", 185. Plays his college ball at Moore Park College. Coming into this ball game, he was 10 for 44. Now he's 10 for 46 on the season at the plate. Trying to drive in the Rome Generals' first run of the ball game. With 2 away here. Jeremy Taylor gets the sign from Peterson. Checks on his own yet second. First pitch missing outside for ball 1.
And now with Ozuna on second, this is only the 2nd time that the Flames have had to deal with a runner in scoring position in today's game. The other time in the 6th inning, the Flames were also able to get out of that jam.
1-0 is the count here on Woodruff. Zonia's going. Throws his third, but A.J. DiFilippo has to bend back and not going to be able to get there with the tag. So now a runner really in scoring position now, all the way on third base. Let's see if the Rome Generals can drive in their first run of the game.
And now that's the only time that the Generals so far have had a runner only 90 feet away. And Peterson getting the throw off quickly, but not accurate enough that DiFilippo had to reach a long way away, and there was no way he was going to be able to make that tag.
Woodruff has 3 RBIs on the season. See if he can get his 4th, and he will be able to get one as he drives one right up to center field. So there's an RBI single from Woodruff to get the Rome Generals on the board. The score is now the Onondaga Flames lead 8-1 here in the top of the 7th inning.
You know, Jonel Ozuna is a big guy. You really wouldn't take him for the base-stealing type, but he steals 2 bases successfully there. And now the Generals finally on the board with a run, but we don't know if it's possibly too little too late. Quick mound visit from pitching coach Robert Andrews, but looks like Taylor's still out there.
So this brings up the left fielder now, number 20, Chris DiGiacomo. Thank you.
We always have each other's backs here in the broadcast booth.
So DiGiacomo is going to try to get another run on the board. This pitch gets away from Peterson, but he's unable to find it. So 1-0, 2 away. Flames trying to get out of the top of the 7th, only surrendering 1 run to the Rome Generals. Taylor gets the sign from Peterson. Here's the 1-0. This one's driven into center field. Should be an easy pickings for Adam Gordon as he's underneath it, and that will be out number 3. But the Rome Generals finally get on the board, scoring 1 run here in the top of the 7th inning. Flames lead the Generals 8-1. We'll be right back on Team Line. Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th inning here at OCC Stadium. Trace Peterson will get things started here for the Onondaga Flames. They lead the Rome Generals 8-1. On the mound is Kevin Simon, who came in the last half inning for the Rome Generals, trying to go back to work, get some quick outs, and see if the Generals can cut back into this Flames lead. First pitch for Peterson. This one popped up out of play for strike 1. We saw the Flames lose a 7-run lead last night to the Cortland Crush. They were up 7 after 4 innings, 7-0 to be exact. Then Cortland put up 7 in the 5th and the 6th. But then the Flames scored 2 more to beat the Cortland Crush 9-7 last night. Flames trying to hold on to the 7-run lead here. This one popped up out of play one more time, and Peterson's quickly down 0-2. Peterson is 0 for 3 on the night. The 0-2. Just missing the outside corner is Simon. Now the count goes to 1-2 here on Trace Peterson, the Lake Erie product.
Peterson had that single back in the 4th inning. Ended up getting gunned down on the fielder's choice.
The 1-2. Missing low. Now Simon starting to lose them just a little bit. Count evens up at 2-2 now. See if Peterson can get a base knock here. See if the Flames can extend their lead. They don't really need any more insurance runs, but no lead is safe in the NYCBL.
Clearly, as the Flames surrendered a 7-run lead last night.
This pitch way over Woodruff's head, and now we have a full count.
That's just the heat taking over again. That was probably a curveball that he just slipped out of his hand and had no break because he couldn't get a grip.
So see if Peterson can reach on a walk or even collect a hit here. He has 10 walks on the season, could be number 11. The 3-2 payoff, way high again, and he does pick up walk number 11 on the season. And the Flames have a base runner here with no outs. And here is Mike Stefan, the first baseman, having a pretty solid night. He's 0 for 2 on the night, but he has scored 2 of the 8 runs for the Flames. Scored back in the 4th and in the 6th inning. Reached on the walk in his last plate appearance. As head coach Mike Cordero doing what he's always doing, coaching over there at third base. Giving the guys some signs. First pitch for Stefan, missing high, and that's 3 straight pitches from Simon that have missed way high. See if he's able to get a better grip on the ball. as he tries to pick up some of that dirt off the mound and maybe try to dry his hand off. 1-0 is the count with none away here in the bottom of the 7th. Runner on first is Peterson. This pitch in there for strike one. Count evens up at a ball and a strike on Stefan. Mike Stefan is a guy who usually has some quality at-bats when he's at the plate. Has 12 walks and only 8 strikeouts on the season. Peterson's going. Throws at second base. And he's there. He got him. Just tagged his leg as he was sliding in. That's going to be out number 1.
I was surprised anyone would be stealing in this heat. Surprised Peterson even had the energy. After all, he's spending all the game behind the plate, squatted in all that catcher's gear, so he's got to be really dehydrated.
Sure thing, but Mike Cordero has always been an aggressive coach, and we see the aggressiveness still on here late in the game.
Not too much harm, though.
No, too much harm at all. That last pitch missed high, and so is that one, so now the count is 3-1 here on Mike Stefan, who could collect another walk. It would be number 13 on the season for him. And Kevin Simon's struggles continue on the mound. The 3-1 from Simon. It's in there, as it looked like it missed from up here, but got ahead of myself there. Now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Stefan. Simon able to tag the outside part of the strike zone. Woodruff gives him the sign. Let's see what the 3-2 payoff. What does he have in store for Stefan? Here it is. This one should be down for a base hit, and it will be, as it gets out in between the right fielder and the center fielder. And there's the first hit of the ball game for Mike Stefan. Bringing up Jack Cherno, who replaced Mike Ruggiero back in the 5th inning. Cherno's 1 for 1 on the night, came around to score one of the 8 runs for the Flames as well. So the Flames are an opportunity to add a couple more runs to their lead with Jack Cherno at the plate. Very steady this season. Had a hot start coming in, cooled off since. Batting a .276 coming into this ball game. 17 for 59 now. First pitch in there for strike 1. Cherno has 18 walks on the season, 12 strikeouts, has driven in 6 runs, and has scored 17 himself, which is good for second on the team, behind Mike Netzel. The 0-1 from Simon, missing high, and the count goes to 1-1 on Jack Cherno.
Simon obviously surrendered a lot of those runs. Not any of them earned, but he also obviously surrendered a lot of runs in the last inning. Simon seems to be a lot more under control here.
He sure does. 1-1 count with 1 away, runner on first. Stefan gets a better lead, and Jack Cherno is going to get a single. So there it is, back-to-back hits for the Flames, and runner in scoring position, bringing up Jake Evans, who had the RBI single last time he was up.
That's the second hit of the ball game for Cherno and has many at-bats. And since he's come in for Ruggiero, he's been incredibly productive out there in the field.
He sure has. And Jack Cherno showing his versatility in this ball game, as usually he's out in center field, but coming in as a substitution at second base, proving that he can play multiple positions for this Flames team.
Well, he's a second baseman by nature, but this team has mostly had use for him as an outfielder, as the middle infield is very crowded here on this Flames roster.
Jake Evans trying to drive in a run for the Flames. 1 away, runners on first and second. Flames now have 12 hits on the ball game so far. This first pitch misses low for ball 1 on Jake Evans. Simon gets the sign. Evans trying to drive in another run as Simon steps off the bag to check Mike Stefan at second base. Stefan not the biggest threat to steal, as he isn't the fastest guy on the team, but he has 1 stolen base to his credit this season, though. 1 for 1 on stolen bases so far. The 1-0 from Simon. This one chopped foul down the right field line, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Flames just trying to get out of this one by holding on to the lead, adding a couple more runs, and this one should be just about over with the stellar pitching from Jeremy Taylor and whoever's going to come into relief for him. We've only seen 1 complete game all season. That was from Gunnar Groen back a couple of weeks ago. Lucky to be a part of that game. The 1-1 rolls in the turf for a ball, and the count goes to 2-1. Simon's struggles continue on the mound for the Rome Generals. They have one more pitcher warming up in the bullpen. This pitch is going to miss low for ball 3, and the count goes to 3-1. In the bullpen, looks like number 28, that's Ronald Russo, warming up. Freshman out of Queens, New York. See how much longer Simon will go. If he can get out of this inning, it'd be great for the Generals, but the Flames continue to pour it on here. 3-1 count, Simon missing high, and he's going to surrender another walk. It's the second walk of this inning, and the Flames load up the bases now.
This is really getting out of hand for Kevin Simon. He's falling into the same trap he fell in on Friday when he allowed 7 runs on his watch.
So Reed Gibbs, the pinch hitter, has come into the game now. We haven't seen Reed Gibbs in quite some time, as he's only been used as a base runner and sometimes getting a couple of at-bats, I should say. But Reed Gibbs has played his role on this team. He's only had 19 at-bats so far this season, but he is batting a .263, 5 for 19 to be exact. First pitch for Reed Gibbs, inside for ball 1. So we'll see if that's a straight sub and if Reed Gibbs will go out to right field after this on defense. But Reed Gibbs, 3 RBIs, all 3 of them coming down in Cortland when he unloaded the bases. See if he can do the same here. This pitch misses high and outside for ball 2. Reed Gibbs has 4 walks and 3 strikeouts on the season. Has also been hit by a pitch. But 2-0 is the count here for Reed Gibbs, subbing in for Mike Netzel. The 2-0. Missing high, and Simon's really starting to struggle here. One more ball, and it will drive in a run from a walk. It'd be the 3rd walk surrendered in the ball game. As Ronald Russo continues to warm up for the Rowan Generals in the bullpen.
The entire infield's playing in, and in the same vein, a ground ball could end the inning.
The 3-0, and Simon finds the strike zone. Count is now 3-1 here on Reed Gibbs. The 3-1. In there for strike 2, and just like that, Simon has a couple of nice bounce-back pitches, and now it's a full count. Let's see if he can work himself out of this jam. Bases loaded. 3-2 count with 1 away. Flames could really break this game open. 3-2. This one chopped up to the shortstop, unable to make a play, and it's going to drive in a run. So that's going to be rolled as an E6 as the shortstop, Perino, unable to make a play. That's his 2nd error of the ball game.
That's now 4 in the last 2 games that Perino has played this Flames ball club, so he's really struggling defensively.
He sure is, and Flames now have 9 on the scoreboard, and they lead this one 9-1 with Adam Gordon up to bat here. So an E6 scores a run for the Flames, and the score is now 9-1 with Adam Gordon up to bat. Let's see what Adam Gordon has in store. This one out to the left fielder, and that's an easy out there, but the tag is up. Let's see if he can get there. The throw, the play's at home, and he's not in time as Jack Chernow shows off the wheels. Sac fly RBI for Adam Gordon. And now the lead is the Onondaga Flames have 10 in the Rome Generals 1.
Hey, it's a sacrifice fly. Gets them another run. Not that they needed any more cushion, but it's always nice to have more runs.
Yeah, they definitely have those. A couple insurance runs here now. And Jirachi has an opportunity to get his 2nd RBI of the ball game. He's up to 2 on the season so far. First pitch for Jirachi out down the left field line, but it's going to go foul. So a nice job inserted into the starting lineup for this ball game. He's 1 for 3, scored 1 run, and driven in another run. If the score holds, I mean, this is a second beatdown in a couple of days the Flames have put on the Rome Generals. Pitch misses high and outside for ball 1. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. The Flames play the Generals 5 more times on the season. There's no reason why the Flames can't at least have 5 more wins against this ball club if they can play this way. The 1 run from Simon. That pitch misses high, and now the count goes to 2-1. Are you surprised that Simon's still out there, Brandon?
I mean, look, I don't want to dig into their bullpen anymore. They dug into it quite a bit. They had a reliever go 6 innings on Friday.
That pitch misses inside for ball 3. Count goes to 3-1.
I'm really surprised they chose Simon because I think that the sign that they put him out there was really a sign of surrender because they knew how much he struggled against this Flames offense, and so by putting him out there, they're basically just waving the white flag.
2-0. This could walk the bases loaded, and it will. And Garachi picks up a walk here. That's the third walk surrendered just this inning, Brandon.
Real struggle here. Doesn't look like anyone's warming up in the bullpen, but it looks like coach is going to come out to talk to him.
Definitely have to make a play here. We saw Ronald Russo warming up for a little while, but I'm not sure if he's going to come in or not. As the coach makes a mound visit, a much-needed mound visit, as Simon's losing all sorts of confidence on the mound right now. But Jake Evans is over at third base with Reed Gibbs on second and Garachi on first. And here it is. The pitching change is going to be made. We're going to take a timeout as he warms up right here on Team Line. Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th inning. Bases loaded here, and Ronald Russo is going to be the pitcher on the mound for the Rome Generals. Russo has appeared. He's had 4 innings pitched with a 9 ERA, surrendered 6 hits and has 3 strikeouts to his name so far this season. And Corbin Paxton's going to come in to pinch hit for Colin Matthews. Corbin's having a pretty decent season. He's been back and forth between starting at first base and different positions for this team. Bases loaded. He's had a chance to add to his RBI total on the season. This pitch way away, and it's going to score a run. Jake Evans comes home, and now the lead is 11-1 here.
That one actually went behind Colin Matthews. That was horrible pitching to start by Ronald Russo.
Definitely not the way you want to start out things, but Corbin Paxton having a pretty decent season so far, batting a 158, 6 for 38 at the plate. But he does have 6 RBIs to his name. Could easily get 7 and 8 with a base poke here. Russo checking on the runner at third. That's Reed Gibbs, the 1-0. And that's going to miss outside for a ball. And now the count is 2-0 here on Corbin Paxton.
I can only imagine how close to heat exhaustion the Generals fielders are right now. They've been out there for such a long time.
They sure have. This one, easy pickings for the first baseman. And there it is. So that's out number 3. So the Flames strand 2 on base, but they put up 3 more runs. Onondaga Flames lead the Rome Generals 11-1. We'll be right back on Team Line. Welcome back here to the top of the 8th inning on Team Line. Flames blowing out the Rome Generals. It's 11-1 to be exact. Jake Griffin on the mound now for the Flames. First pitch from Griffin is outside for ball one. A pinch hitter here for the Rome Generals, number 18. This pitch driven foul down the left field line for strike one. Patrick Kenny is going to be the man at the plate. So Patrick Kenny, number 18, coming in here to pinch hit. Jake Griffin on the mound. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back towards the screen, and the count goes to 1-2 on Patrick here. Patrick Kenny. 1-2 count. Kenny out of Wittenberg University. See what he has in store for Jake Griffin. Trying to collect his strikeout here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This pitch driven hard down the left field line, but it's going to be another foul ball, and the count will remain 1-2. Griffin has a 5.28 ERA coming into this ball game. 23 strikeouts, which is good for tied for second on the team with Jimmy Flahive. This pitch, another one, right over there to the third base coach with the silky mitts, bringing it in, and the count will stay 1-2 here on Kenny. But Jake Griffin has done a terrific job so far this season. His ERA is high, but he does strike out a lot of batters. That pitch misses outside for a ball, and the count goes even 2-2 for Griffin. John Hopkins product and my roommate. So hopefully Jake gets the job done. The 2-2. This one should be easy pickings for Cherno, but it's going to drop just in front of him for a base poke there from Patrick Kenny. Bringing up Steve Peters, number 23. Steve Peters is the best hitter on this team by far. He's 1 for 3 on the afternoon so far, though, and Peters coming into this ballgame batting a .438. He was 28 for 64, and this first pitch from Griffin is a breaking ball. It's going to miss the plate, so the count goes to 1-0. But Peters is now going to be 29 for 66 on the season. 1-0 count. Check swing. Did he go? And he didn't, so the count goes to 2-0 here on Steve Peters. Peters plays his college ball at City College in New York. He's from Peeksville, New York, I should say. 5'11", 190 outfielder, playing center field this evening for the Rome Generals. That pitch gets away from Griffin, and now the count is 3-0. Some defensive changes have been made for the Onondaga Flames as Corbin Paxton is now at first base, and Reed Gibbs is at second. 3-0 in there for strike one. Peters just holds off and waits on that one. But in the outfield, down from left to right, Mike Stefan, Jack Cherno, and Adam Gordon out in right field. The 3-1, Griffin gets the sign and delivers. Right down the middle, beautiful fastball, and now the count is full at 3-2 here. Steve Peters trying to fight off anything close. Peters does have 7 walks to his name this season. See if he can collect another one, and he will. There's walk number 8, and Kenny will advance to second base. Peters advances to first on a walk. That's walk number 18, surrendered by Jake Griffin. But it's okay because the Flames have a commanding lead right now. 11-1 to be exact. Joe Bramante, the first baseman, up the bat next. He is 1 for 2 on the evening. First pitch misses outside for a ball. Bramante had the ground rule double back in the 6th inning, but was unable to score a run on that. So the 1-0 count here. Let's see if Griffin can find the strike zone one more time. The 1-0. Cut on and missed for strike one. Beautiful pitch there from Jake Griffin. Interesting note on him. You may wonder his walk-up song is the fight song for University of Tennessee. But it's not his college team. He actually is an LSU fan. So interesting note on Jake Griffin. The 1-1. Cut on and missed, and there's strike two. So a 1-2 count here for Bramante, and now he's quickly in quicksand, sinking away here at this at-bat. See if he can get out of it. Runners on first and second, no outs here in the top of the 8th inning. Here's the 1-2 popped up, and it's going to go out of play. We'll do the 1-2 one more time. Griffin coming on, relieving Jeremy Taylor, who went 7 full innings and is definitely going to get the win unless the Flames can blow a 11-1 lead, which is very unlikely here with only a couple more innings of work left for the Rome Generals. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Griffin checks on a runner at second, delivers. This one chopped foul down the right field line one more time. So Jake Griffin trying to get it done. He's given up a single and surrendered a walk so far in his first inning of work of the ball game. 1-2. Peterson sets up a little bit outside. This one's almost tagging Bramante. Just misses him though, and the count will go to 2-2. Griffin really doesn't give up the big hits there, and as he does strike Bramante for a hit by pitch there, and now the bases are going to be loaded for the Rome Generals. Hit by pitch loads up the bases, and Jake is struggling just a little bit. Perhaps it could be the heat, and his grip on the ball could be affected by that. So Matt Struthers is going to come into pinch hit here for Tony Perino, number 29 out of Keene State College. First pitch for Struthers is missing outside, and Griffin thought that was definitely in there, but it wasn't. So Struthers is batting a 185 on the season. He's 5 for 27, has 3 RBIs, and he could very likely get a couple more here with no outs. This pitch driven hard towards Jake Evans. This could be 2. On to second after Reed Gibbs for 1. Over to Corbin Paxton for 2, but it's going to score a run. So 1 run will score. Kenny will come around. Now the score is 11-2 with the Flames in front. But a beautiful play there. 6-4-3 double play to get 2 outs there. Now it's Kenny Michael up the bat here. This pitch gets away. It's going to score another run. So pitch gets by Trace Peterson. And the pass ball makes it now 11-3. As Steve Peters comes around to score a run. But either way, Flames now lead 11-3 with Kenny Michael trying to get one more out here. 1-0 the count is on Michael. He's 0 for 3 on the afternoon so far. This pitch tags him, and Jake Griffin is really starting to struggle here. So he has the double play. His last pitch and the pitch before was a hit by pitch for Bramante, and now he's hit 2. But Ozuna is up the bat next. Jonel Ozuna, who had the single back in the 7th inning, came around to score a run, so he's part of this 3-run game for the Rome Generals. See if he can get another base knock here. Kenny Michael over there at first. Just the first pitch there is popped up and will go into foul play. And look at that. The bullpen warming up there is able to bring it in. I can't make out who the pitcher is that's warming up, but looks like Colin Matthews getting a little extra work as he was in right field. And when the bullpen warming up, this pitch gets away from Jake Griffin, and he's really starting to struggle here. Count is now 1-1. Just needs to get out of this, though. And a strikeout could do it here for Griffin. 1 ball and 1 strike. This one cut on and missed by Ozuna, and the count goes to 1-2 now. One ball, 2 strikes with 2 away here. Jake Griffin trying to get out of this inning. Here it is. First pitch right to easy pickings for DeFilippo. And it's over to first of Corbin Paxton for the final out. But the Rome Generals put 2 more on the board. And this one is now Onondaga 11, Rome 3. Heading into the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll be right back on Team Line. Welcome back to OCC Stadium. Pinch hitting here is Nick Garcia, number 6. Might as well pinch hit here when you have an 8-run lead going into the bottom of the 8th inning. Russo back on the mound for the Rome Generals, trying to get it done here, finish up this ball game and escape here. This pitch gets away from him. Just misses the foot of Nick Garcia for ball 1. But Garcia is another guy who's been pretty consistent when he gets his opportunities. He has 24 at-bats on the season, batting at .250. 6 for 24 coming into this ball game. That pitch misses outside for ball 2. Count goes to 2-0 on Nick Garcia. He has 1 double, 1 triple, and 1 RBI to his name so far this season. He's also picked up 4 walks and could easily do that again as that pitch misses outside for ball 3. So 3 balls, no strikes, so no outs here. Flames lead this one 11-3 here in the bottom of the 8th. This pitch misses high and outside, and just like that, Nick Garcia gets on a 4-pitch walk to start the bottom of the 8th inning, and Trace Peterson will step up to the plate next for the Onondaga Flames. So Peterson is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Did reach on a walk last time he was up. Nick Garcia out there at first base. He is 2 for 2 on stolen bases this season and has a 2-step lead off the first base bag. Here's a pitch from Russo. In there, finally finding the strike zone for strike 1. Peterson's had a pretty tiring night behind the plate after temperatures reached up to 99 degrees here at OCC Stadium. The 0-1. This one down the third baseline. It's easily a fair ball. Nick Garcia is going to round into third base, and he's going to hold up at third base. So Trace Peterson gets things going here with a double, just like that. And the Flames just keep on adding more base runners and could potentially add a couple more runs here. So a nice double for Trace Peterson's first hit of the ball game. Mike Stefan up the bat next for the Onondaga Flames. He's 1 for 3 on the afternoon as well, but he has scored 3 runs in this ball game. Needs to get a base hit here to score at least 1 run from third. He only has 3 RBIs on the season, but could easily get a couple more. And then there it is. So that one's going to get by for a base knock. And here comes Trace Peterson on his horse. The play's at the plate, and the throw is way away from the catcher. And easily advancing to third base on the errant throw is going to be Mike Stefan. And the Flames go up 13-3 over the Rome Generals. So a single, then he advances on an error to third base is Mike Stefan, and now Jack Chernow is going to be up to bat, but the RBI single is going to bring in 1 run, and then another run's going to score on the air. So the Flames now have 13, lucky 13 here on this Sunday evening contest. Jack Chernow trying to get into the hitting party, I should say. That pitch misses high, but he's 2 for 2 on the evening so far. Has scored 2 runs in this game. Flames trying to go for a new record against the Rome Generals. They put up 15 runs the last time. They're already at 13 in this ball game. No outs here. The second pitch, I should say, bounces in the turf, and the count goes to 2-0 on Jack Chernow. Mike Stefan over there at third base. And the Rome Generals, the snowball effect, heat exhaustion. These guys just want to get out of this game as quickly as possible now. 2-0 count here for Jack Chernow. This one chopped. Should be an easy pickings, and there's another bobbled play, and Jack Chernow's going to be able to beat it out. Just like that. So he's going to beat out on an E4. But just mental error after mental error, and it's really starting to add up here. Runners on the corners. And now Jake Evans gets a chance here to add to this lead. He already has 1 RBI, has also scored 2 runs in this ball game. Had the RBI single back in the 6th inning, reached on a walk in the 7th, and came around to score a run. So E4 gets Jack Chernow on base. First pitch for Evans. He's going to chop it. Should be an easy play, and Kenny's going to give it to the Russo for out number 1, but it's going to score a run on the fielder's choice. Mike Stefans is going to come home. So Mike Stefan scores run number 14 in this ball game for the Onondaga Flames. Jack Chernow advances to second. So the ground out RBI for Jake Evans, and Reed Gibbs is up the bat next for the Onondaga Flames. Reached on an error back in the 7th inning. This one popped up, driven into right field. Michael's underneath it, and there's going to be out number 2. So Reed Gibb drives one out to right field for out number 2. And now Adam Gordon has his chance. He has 3 RBIs on the ball game so far. Two came in the 6th inning, and then he had the sac fly RBI in the 7th. Jack Chernow out there at second base. Flames lead 14-3 now. 14 hits and 14 runs. Pretty good production from the Flames, and they've also left a couple of runners on base in this ball game, so could be even a larger lead. First pitch in there for strike one against Adam Gordon. Russo checking on Chernow, delivers the 0-1. This one driven down the right field line, foul from Adam Gordon. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Adam Gordon readjusts his batting gloves and digs his spikes into the batter's box one more time. Russo trying to get out of this inning here. Could do it on this pitch. The 0-2. This one driven into center field. Should be an easy out for Peters, and it is for out number 3. But the Flames do more damage, putting up 3 more runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. The score, Onondaga 14, Rome 3, heading into the 9th.
Top of the ninth inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames now leading 14-3. The first pitch to the third baseman Thomas Diskin misses ball 1, and the second pitch misses high again. So 2-0 here to Thomas Diskin. The Flames seem to really have the number of the Rome Generals so far. 2-0s cut on and missed on the breaking pitch, and a 2-1 count here to Diskin. First of all, that 15-2 win on Friday, and now leading 14-3 in the top of the 9th, and Jake Griffin out for his second inning of relief after giving up 2 in the top of the 8th. The 2-1 catches the inside corner on the fastball, so an even 2-2 count here on Diskin.
And Jake was struggling with his grip on the ball earlier with a couple of hits batsmen, but was able to clean it up towards the end of the inning.
2-2 misses way outside. That one broke a little bit too much for Griffin's liking, so now a full 3-2 count here. And a couple more changes after that last inning as the 3-2 pitch misses high for ball 4 and Diskin walks to first base. Nick Garcia, who pinch hit, is now in at third base. And now a pinch hitter is going to come up for the Rome Generals. It's going to be number 45, Alex Vasquez, a catcher hitting for the catcher, Woody Woodruff. Vasquez was not very successful at the plate the last time against the Onondaga Flames, and he'll take the first pitch for a strike on the outside corner. And 0-1 count here to Vasquez with one away, with a runner on first and no one away. In the top of the ninth, down by 11 runs. The 0-1 misses outside, so a 1-1 count here on Vasquez. Vasquez hitting .360 on the year out of Delaware State University. 1-1 misses inside, almost clips, and almost the third hit batsman for Jake Griffin, but just misses his leg, so a 2-1 count here on Vasquez. Middle infield playing in double play depth. 2-1. Fouled right back towards the screen behind home plate, so the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Griffin working quickly out there on the mound, but he's hasn't gotten any outs yet. Obviously, this is a quick inning, only the second batter faced, but he's getting ahead in the counts, and even though there's contact to be made or a few missed pitches, he's working ahead as that one's driven into right center field. Giving chase to that one is the center fielder Jack Cherno, and he makes the catch for the first out as Thomas Diskin is forced to retreat back to first. So now 1 away in the top of the ninth, 2 outs to work with now for the Rome Generals, down by 11 runs. And that brings up the top of the order and a pinch hitter in number 20, Chris DiGiacomo. Rather not a pinch hitter, he came in a few innings back and replaced Baker in left field. First pitch is fouled back off the mid of Trace Peterson, and the count's 0-1. DiGiacomo 2 at bats so far, 0 for 2, a pop out towards second base and a fly out to center. 0-1. Cut on and missed. So an 0-2 count here. With 1 away, runner on first, 14-3. The Flames have the lead. Double play depth in the middle infield. The 0-2 misses outside, so a ball here on DiGiacomo. It's 1-2. Patrick Kenny waiting on deck for what would be his second at-bat of the game. The 1-2 again, a breaking ball misses outside, doesn't quite break into the zone. So an even 2-2 count here on DiGiacomo. Griffin again working quickly here from the sidearm position. That one's lined just over the outstretched glove of Corbin Paxton into right field for a base hit. Digging around second is Diskin. He'll get to third. So a single with 1 away here for Chris DiGiacomo that now makes it first and third with 1 away, and that brings up Patrick Kenny with a run 90 feet away from scoring here.
Patrick Kenny had a single last time he saw Jake Griffin, so Rome Generals are fighting still, even though they already have 2 more outs to their name.
Kenny in his first at-bat singled after pinch hitting for Donnie Stokes. He cuts on and missed at the first pitch, so 0-1 here to Kenny. The 0-1. Grounded over to second. This could do it. Flip over to second for 1. On to first. A double play ends the ball game. The Flames have the Rome's number in spades. 14-3. The Flames win now in 2 games with the Rome Generals. They have outscored the Generals 29-5. Incredible performance by the Flames here. Welcome to a quick post-game show here at OCC Stadium. Morgan Chapman alongside myself, Brandon Ross. And now Flames just getting it done offensively. What was the key there?
I don't know. I mean, we thought this would be a high-scoring affair for one of the ball clubs, and the Flames are just able to pour it on, seeing all the pitches really well, and the Rome Generals are in last place in the division, and it's for a reason. They just struggle. They don't really have much depth in that bullpen, and they don't have much depth in their lineup as well.
And the Flames entered today's contest 1 game back of the Syracuse Spartans, and we're awaiting on the Spartans' result. They're currently trailing Cortland 7-3 on the road, so if they lose, it's a tie for the top of the East Division. How huge is that for the Onondaga Flames to be touching first place?
It's huge considering the start of the season this team had, Brandon. I mean, there was a really rocky start for the Flames, but then they were able to straighten it out and win a couple of games in a row, and now just like that, this team is clicking on all cylinders, picking up their 3rd win in 3 days, or 3 games, I should say. So this team is doing their job, and now they're tied with could be tied with the Syracuse Spartans for first place.
Second extended winning streak of the season for the Flames. They previously had a 4-game winning streak, but then they broke that, and now another 3-game winning streak here. That's it for us here at OCC Stadium. Alongside Morgan Chapman, I'm Brandon Ross saying so long and good night. Thank you for joining us here at OCC.